Today I thought it'd be nice to give you all a free lesson in negotiating. Negotiations when it comes to doing business are a bit of a headache, a nuisance, and it's just this push and pull battle back and forth, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But what if it did every single time? What if every time you entered into a negotiation, you knew you would be victorious? You want to get yourself a new Stanley Cup but don't feel like forking over 50 clams for it? Well, then it's time to employ this negotiating tactic and get yourself a 100% off discount. That shit will be free. In fact, this is so effective that they'll probably start paying you to take the items away from them. It's that powerful. I first learned this forbidden jutsu from an anonymous hero on the Facebook marketplace who really opened my eyes to it. So I want to do the same for you. And I'll just go ahead and say it now. You're welcome. So it all begins with an individual trying to sell their motorcycle on the Facebook marketplace, and then they received this message. And I don't think they were prepared for this. That motorcycle was as good as gone the second this was sent. So they reach out and they say, "Hello, I know this is a lot to ask, but would you consider letting me have the motorcycle for free?" Pause. That's how you do it right there. Immediately letting his intentions be known. There's no guesswork here. There's really no haggling either. It's like, "Excuse me, have you considered letting me have this for free? I know you're trying to sell it for money, but what about just letting me have it?" Now, I don't want to scare you away with science, but I do want to dive a bit deeper here on why this is so effective. There's a psychological explanation for this. People love to have their questions answered with another stupider question. It makes us feel great. It's like this nice euphoric high. It's like smoking the crack pipe, but much worse. So in this instance, I know the guy selling his motorcycle had never, even for a fucking iota of a second, considered just giving away his motorcycle for free to a total stranger. But now that the idea has been planted in his head by that stranger, it's given him a lot to think about. And that changes the whole dynamic of the negotiation. Now, all the power is on the guy who's asking for it for free. You see how it works? It's very clever. We're dealing with a true genius. And he wastes no time getting very personal here to get an emotional investment from the seller, trying to tug on his heartstrings. So he's going for like this extremely powerful 1-2 combination wallop here to try and get this bike for free. So he says, "It's for my elderly dad, and he lost his car due to financial issues, and he is dirt poor on a super low pension, and I don't work as I'm looking after him until I get another job, as I lost my trucking company to a fucking rotten," and then he drops a slur. If that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, then I don't know what will. You have no soul. His elderly father, he lost his car due to financial issues, and now he needs a motorcycle. As all elderly men need. Like, how is he supposed to get from point A to point B without a free motorcycle now? What do you expect him to do? Walk? It's ridiculous. He's elderly. And the individual here doesn't have a job to provide for him, so he's doing the best he can to get him some transportation, which just happens to be a fucking motorcycle. Maybe he's trying to get his dad killed. I have no idea. Maybe this is all an elaborate assassination plot. I am looking for someone with a heart that is willing to help a person in need. And then caps lock. "My dad is 78 years old and is at his breaking point, and the next person who refuses to say yes and help will be held responsible if anything happens to my dad, as he is ready to let go of life." So now the stakes have never been higher. His father is 78 years old. At his breaking point, the only thing keeping him alive is the hope of a free motorcycle. Will you do it? Do you have a heart to save his life? Because if he doesn't get this motorcycle, goddammit, it's going to be the end of him. And even if he gets the motorcycle, it's going to be the end of him then too. But in a much bigger blaze of glory, I think. I imagine it's 78 years old, and in as rough a shape as this guy describes him, that motorcycle would be his vessel straight to fucking Valhalla. That would be messy. But it's what he wants. Alright? And are you going to do it or not? Are you going to follow the Lord's wishes and treat thy neighbor the way thy would like to be treated? With a free motorcycle? Because if you don't, you will be responsible for it, so keep that in mind, Buster. I think this is negotiating at its finest form. So he's pulling out all the stops here for the free motorcycle, trying to get the waterworks going with a sob story, but immediately drops a fucking slur in the middle of it, and then caps locks a threat, too. This is an unhinged maniac we're dealing with today. I usually blank out the Facebook profile pictures in these kind of messages, but this one is just so fitting because he has a clown as his profile pic, and it couldn't be more poetic, because this guy is truly a fucking loser clown. So he comes back saying, I keep asking till you answer me. The guy trying to sell the motorcycle says, no thank you, and then even gets this warning, beware of common scams using payment apps. So I'm guessing this got flagged internally or something. I don't exactly know how Facebook Marketplace works in that regard. But then he goes, so you're okay with putting money over a person's life? And he just goes, has this ever worked for you? His strategy is very clear. He's trying to like play off of people's good nature. Like, my father needs this motorcycle. He doesn't have a car right now, and he doesn't have money to pay for this motorcycle, and I don't have money to pay for the motorcycle because I'm taking care of my dad because I'm a good person. Like, come on, you're gonna really value money over someone's life? You're gonna try and sell this motorcycle for thousands of dollars as opposed to just give it to me and my dad for free, which would actually save his life? Oh my god, you're disgusting. You are despicable scum. And when it becomes clear that this guilt trip song and dance isn't working, he tries something very different. Actually, yes, in the past it worked because years ago there were good-hearted people that would give you the shirt off their back to help a person in need. A shirt is also significantly cheaper than a goddamn motorcycle, you absolute heathen. Now, all you is a bunch of cold-hearted, money-hungry bastards, and I am very disgusted by that. I have no doubt that he spit. Gross. Won't even give me a free motorcycle. Yucky. My lawyer actually told me that if anything happens to my dad because someone told him and it pushed him over the edge, I can file a lawsuit. So far, I have 20 people's names and Facebook accounts who have refused to help me. I have passed those on to my lawyer in case anything happens. Yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't have money to pay for the motorcycle, begging for it for free, yet somehow has money for a lawyer for this. That's about as believable as me being over 6 feet tall. What a bunch of fucking hooey. My dad told me if anyone else tells him no, there will be major hell to pay. This guy actually speaks like a child on Xbox Live making threats. My dad actually works for Infinity Ward, so if any of you guys kill me in this game and I don't win, you're all getting banned. This goofball has that same kind of energy to these messages here, while he's begging for a free motorcycle, trying to get some kind of sob story guilt trip going. It's fucking brutal. So let's take a bit of a dive here on his last couple of statements. So he's saying that he has a lawyer that has told him he can file a lawsuit if something happens to his dad because someone refused him free shit, basically. That's such an entertaining idea to play around with. Like, you can't tell this guy no because he's old and he might die. So be careful. So he's trying to get the legal threats out there. If Pops kicks the bucket, if he buys the farm because you didn't give him a free motorcycle, I'm taking you to court, so you better give me the free motorcycle. The guy's like sweating, like, oh my god, alright, I've got to give him the free motorcycle. I really wanted to get a couple $1,000s out of this because I paid so much for it, but this guy's dad's life is on the line and I'm threatened with a legal lawsuit. Like, what did he possibly think would happen? No one's gonna buy this story. Nobody in the world, no rational person in their right mind would get these messages and think anything of them beyond, wow, this person that is talking to me right now actually needs some kind of mental health evaluation, because this is unhinged. It's also super laughable how he tries to make his dad come in here at the end as like the big head honcho tough guy. My dad said if anyone tells him no, there will be major hell to pay. In what way? He's 78 fucking years old and apparently has no way of getting around and has some demented loser of a son that's trying to get free shit for him on Facebook Marketplace. What is he gonna do? What major hell is there gonna be to pay? There's nothing getting paid. You're just asking for shit for free in the most pathetic way possible. That's the worst threat ever. I have no doubt in my mind this has never worked for him. Shocker, I don't believe he's actually got 20 people's names and Facebook accounts in some kind of dossier that he's about to send to his lawyer to sue. Or if he does, the lawyer's just going to be trying to hose him for money off of this absolute cringe. Like, this is just ridiculous. You can't sue someone because they declined to give you something for free when they weren't even offering it for free to begin with. Like, you can't tell my dad no? What the fuck is that? It's so wild. It's so weird. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. You might want to try this negotiating tactic though once or twice just to see how it goes. Maybe it might be worth trying. Why not? Let it rip. It seems like a good time, a good bunch of fun. That's really about it. See ya. Another day, another whiny, entitled loser having a meltdown and freak out in a fast food drive-thru. This time, the temper tantrum is caused because he was declined a pup cup.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, please.
I'm doing a video.
I'm gonna need you to leave, sir.
Why was the reasoning why you won't give me a pup cup?
We're not allowed to do pup cups.
Yes, you are. I come here 2-3 times a week, every week, and get a pup cup.
As a dog owner myself, I am very familiar with this item. It's super simple. It's just a cup of whipped cream. It's not winning any Michelin stars, but it's just a nice little treat for your dogs if you're going to a couple of fast food places that offer it. I think the main one is Starbucks. But I didn't even know it was like super common outside of that. So it's not surprising that they're saying, no, you can't get a pup cup here. And also, 2 to 3 of those a week? That's excessive. At that point, just get your own can of whipped cream. Like, what the fuck?
Every time I come here.
They're not supposed to do pup cups. If they're doing it, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Do you not understand? It's just a little cup of whipped cream.
So I need you to leave, please.
Why won't you give me a pup cup?
Because we do not do pup cups at this establishment.
Bullshit. Came here yesterday and got a pup cup.
Somebody hand me the phone, please. Call the police.
She's calling the police because I want a pup cup?
She's calling the police because you're an annoying pest that refuses to leave, even though she's told you multiple times they don't do pup cups. Now, if you've received some of those sacred treasures here, that wonderful cuisine in the past, it means you got lucky, and the workers probably just didn't want to deal with you because you're a headache and decided to just oblige and give you those pup cups, but it's not something this establishment normally does, and she's telling you that. You're also making a problem for the workers that were nice enough to you to give you those pup cups by snitching on them here. Just accept the no, take the L, and move on. Go to a different place that offers it, or better yet, go to Publix or your local grocer, get a can of whipped cream, and then give your dog your own personal pup cup. She has done nothing wrong, she's not being mean, she told you no, which she has every right to do. And for some reason, you're making this a huge song and dance, and for some reason, so many people have these brain worms in society today, like these parasites that infest their mind that think that they're always in the right. So he starts filming this interaction himself. What should be a shameful moment for him that should keep him awake for weeks to come is something that he is proudly posting online himself. It's embarrassing. It's super fucking embarrassing. You're delusional. You're not in the right. No one's on your side. Just leave. They don't do pup cups. And stop saying that word. It grinds my ass. It chafes my fucking butt. How many times he says the word pup cup throughout this video? He spams that word more often than a Rocket League player spams what a save. It drove me nuts. It was so fucking grating.
Let's see what the police have to say because a person wants a pup cup? Seriously, you're calling the police because someone wants a pup cup. That's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cassopolis, Michigan.
I'm not entirely sure who shouted for being an idiot. My guess is it's one of the customers behind him, since he's clearly congesting the drive-thru here and putting it to an absolute halt, grinding it to a standstill. So I'm guessing they were getting mad and started shouting at him, just throwing tomatoes at this clown here. Just boo, boo, you stink, please stop, you're being an idiot. That's my guess. But it also could have been one of the workers from inside saying that, because he's now making everyone's day much more miserable there. He just doesn't seem to grasp that it has nothing to do with the pup cup, it has to do with his refusal to leave after being told no.
No. That's absolutely ridiculous. All you have to do is put some goddamn whipped cream in a and so that my dog can have a pup cup. And I was paying for it. I asked to pay for it.
So fucking what? They still said no. It doesn't matter how easy it is, they don't do that here. Your dog's not gonna die from lack of pup cup. It's not like that's the only sustenance keeping it alive. It's not just going to fucking explode if it doesn't get like the sugar from the whipped cream. It'll be fine. Go make your own pup cup at home and get the fuck out of the drive-thru and stop making everyone's day more miserable and worse by your presence. You absolute worm.
You McDonald's people need to start, like, come on now. It's a freaking pup cup. Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Right there. Cassopolis, Michigan. I'm going to corporate with this. McDonald's doesn't support dogs, but you want me to round up to support the freaking kids every time I come here?
What the hell is even that? What are you saying? This man's gone loopy from how upset he is at getting told no. He's just not making any sense. It's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo gobbledygook here. No, this isn't even a coherent rant anymore that he's yelling about. Just flapping his gums over nothing. What do you mean you're going to send this to corporate? What do you think they're going to do about it? What do you think their response is going to be? Excuse me, McDonald's CEO, Ronald, sir. Look at what just came across my desk. Take a peek here. It seems one of our restaurants in Cassopolis, Michigan did not serve a customer a pup cup despite being asked to. Shut it down. Get the Hamburglar on the line right now. We gotta take that establishment offline ASAP, track down the customer, and give him a lifetime supply of pup cups ASAP to make this right. Like, this isn't even something they offer. What is corporate gonna do, you fucking goofball?
It's a little bit of whipped cream in a cup, and I'm paying for it. It's a pup cup. Quit being so stubborn. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream in a cup for my dog.
Why don't you stop being so stubborn? This could all be averted if you weren't just such a whiny little baby man. Just take the no and leave. Scram! Get out of town. Oh my goodness.
This is why America's going to people like you. We don't do pup cups. I come here 2-3 times a week and get a pup cup. Tell me I can't get a pup cup.
Ah, yes. This is what's wrong with America. This is the reason why America's going to shit. They'll no longer serve a good red-blooded American patriot like this man a pup cup that he was trying to pay for. What happened to us? We used to be a proper country.
Wait till you lose your job when I send this to corporate. I'm waiting till the police get here. Not much, man. It really didn't need to escalate like this, but
You're right, it definitely did not need to escalate like this. But you're a little bitch who couldn't just take no for an answer. So it did escalate like this. And what do you mean, wait till they lose their job? They've done nothing wrong. They've done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. No one's losing their job here.
And she's sitting there making a big deal saying, we don't do pup cups, you need to leave. I want you to leave. I'm like, hold on, I'm going to pull up my phone. I'm like, you guys are really refusing to give me a pup cup for 35 cents that, you know, it shouldn't be escalating. She's like, I'm calling the cops if you don't leave. I said, go ahead and call the cops because I want to document this because they're calling the cops on a customer, a paying customer that comes here regularly.
You're not entitled to a goddamn pup cup, and also you're boring the officer to death by taking him on a trip to Yappersville because you won't shut the fuck up about this. You're not in the right here, and the officer is not on your side. And in fact, it ends with him getting trespassed and banned for this. Like, I don't know what outcome you could have possibly expected here.
We're just out here to keep the peace.
That's what I want.
You said you were screaming at him and yelling at him and videotaping and...
I wasn't screaming or yelling. Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Just give me a freaking pup cup.
He tries to claim he wasn't yelling at them, and then whoever uploaded this video, I found it through Reddit, I don't think this is the original upload, whoever uploaded this easily showcased multiple instances of him yelling. Plus, he filmed all of this himself. He can easily just be disproven with his own video that he has. It's ridiculous to try and claim that he wasn't yelling.
He's good with me. Okay, man, you're banned. Find another place. I don't know if
I won't come back here.
I appreciate that.
Now he'll go terrorize another McDonald's by demanding a pup cup, and the cycle will continue. Just making a huge commotion because he refuses to take no for an answer and also refuses to just get his own can of whipped cream. You don't need to be getting pup cups 2 to 3 times a week for your dog. That's way too much, I would say. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because, once again, another example of someone filming their own most embarrassing moment, and all the time it seems to happen at fast food establishments where people are delusional enough to think they're in the right despite throwing a temper tantrum over nothing. Just this entitlement plague that's sweeping the nation, I guess. That's really about it. So yeah. Whoa there, partner. Hold your horses. I bet you thought I had finally kicked my addiction to reading uncomfortable, cringy, weird text messages from the dating world. Well, do I have news for you, pal. I've only just begun on my bender here. I can quit anytime I want, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need electroshock therapy or any kind of mumbo-jumbo psychiatry to break me out of this rabbit hole. I don't have a problem. The only problem I have is that there isn't more of these for me to read, damn it. So anyway, let's begin. This morning, I hopped on and read 2 different stories here from relationships that fell apart in the most tragic and confusing of ways. So let's just dive right in. So we're reading from the perspective of the girlfriend in this relationship, and she's communicating with her boyfriend. They were coming up on their 3-year anniversary, but after this exchange, it all went right down the shitter. So it begins. Well, we're fucked. Pork chops went bad. My mom was getting ready to fry them and there was mold. To which the boyfriend just hits her with an okay. So she apologizes saying, I'm sorry, she's just going to send me to get chicken alone because I already made mac. She's referring to mac and cheese, for those of you that don't understand the nomenclature there. Now, I think it's very important, as we go through this first story, that you know the ages of those involved. It's 25 and 27. The reason why I think that's important is because as we go through this story, I imagine most of you will assume that these are children, like literally 13 and 14-year-olds. But that's just not the reality of it. This guy is about to throw away a 3-year relationship and have a biblical meltdown over not getting some fucking pork chops. He continues giving her the ice treatment here, so he just goes, okay, no good. Actually speaking like a Neanderthal. She says, the pork chops were bad, we didn't know, I'm sorry, I tried to make you food. He just once again says, okay. She says sorry again, and he just says, cool. So this guy, he's going catatonic right now. We're losing him. He's flatlining. He's starving to death because the pork chops went bad. What is he gonna eat now? He's only a fucking 20-something-year-old man. He can't fend for himself without these pork chops. He's gonna die. She continues by saying, I really tried. Once again, just hits her with that okay. This is actually just like out of One Punch Man, that famous panel where Boros is powering up and One Punch Man just goes, okay. That is his whole personality. So he just goes, okay. And he says, you left? Yeah, she sent me to get chicken. He says, okay again, to which she just says, well, okay. She continues to profusely apologize for this whole situation here, as if she did something wrong, even though she didn't. The pork chops just went bad. I don't know what he expects from her, to like sorcery away all of the mold or whatever on them, or somehow conjure up brand new pork chops from her ass, which is something she also mentioned in the comments, like, I don't know what he wanted from me. Like, she even went to get other food that he could consume. Chicken, mac and cheese, there were other options besides the pork chops, but his mind is set on one thing. Pork chops. He only has room in his noodle for one thought, and right now that thought is pork chops. So now that he realizes he's not getting them, he's about to go berserk over this whole situation here. Cool, you got to eat. I didn't for waiting on you. Good night. Okay, good night. I love you too. No, bro. Good night. I could have ate, but I waited on you, of course. You could have just eaten regardless. So the poster here, she went into detail about all of the context around this. So apparently he had said he was going to go get food, and she mentioned that she was making pork chops with her mom later. So he said, oh, okay, well then I'll just eat the pork chops with you and your mom and I won't get food. To which she replied saying, no, you can still get food and you're also welcome to have these pork chops. But being the noble chivalrous man that he is, he put down the food that he was going to purchase and instead was going to eat these pork chops, which didn't end up happening. And when he didn't get served his pork chops on a golden platter, he just refused to eat, crossed his arms, kicking his legs in his high chair. Well, then I'm just going to starve. So even though she had other food he could eat, the chicken, the mac and cheese, he just didn't. And then also didn't feed himself at any point throughout the rest of the night, I guess because he was still so fuming with steam coming out of his ears. And also, according to her in the comments, the reason he didn't eat the chicken and mac and cheese is because he only likes his chicken prepared in the most simple way ever. So he didn't like the way the chicken was prepared, and he also doesn't like mac and cheese, which is already giving me red flags. I don't know anyone that doesn't like mac and cheese in some capacity. That's making him seem already off his gourd, just from that simple fact alone. But yeah, he refuses to eat for the rest of the night, all because he couldn't have those pork chops. She says, I tried to cook, I didn't know they were bad, I couldn't have known until they defrosted. I don't care, bro, I shouldn't have waited. They made food, but I had to wait on you. Some bullshit. Good night. Oh my god, this insufferable whiny asshole. Those pork chops must have been like heavenly, divine. Like to just give up food for the rest of the night and then ruin a 3-year relationship. Those pork chops gotta taste immaculate. Like, not only do they have to taste amazing, they have to come with legitimately life-changing benefits in order to have this kind of fucking tantrum over them. Like, taking a bite of those pork chops instantly chisels out your jawline a little bit further or something. I just don't know what kind of pork chops would be worth all of this anger. She apologizes again, saying, well, I'm sorry, good night, I love you too. Bro, stop telling me that. I am so tired of this guy saying bro to his girlfriend. He clearly has no respect for her whatsoever. He then throws a term out I've never seen before. He says UPMO. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that stands for, so I looked it up, and usually it's an abbreviation for Project Management Office. But that doesn't really fit in the context of this conversation. I imagine it has to be an insult. I don't think he just came out of nowhere saying, you Project Management Office. So it must stand for something else, but I still can't piece it together. Maybe you pussy monster outcast? I couldn't tell you. Never mind, now I can tell you. I just took an additional 10 minutes looking through Twitter to see anyone else who has ever used that abbreviation, and apparently it means you piss me off. Wow. Fucking oof. That is so cringe, Jesus Christ. But anyway, she says, I mean, I do, but okay, referring to loving him. And then he just says, I don't want to talk to you. And then she just says, okay, good night, I love you. He then comes back around as all of these unhinged weirdos do, where they're like, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you, good night. And then he just keeps fucking going and going and going and spewing. So he comes back and says, at all. Not tomorrow either. I don't care. This is bullshit. Good night. You're fucking selfish. Fuck you for real. I really don't want to talk to you or see you. Honestly, I'll remember this. Good night. I mean, he's speaking like it's the Walking Dead Telltale game. Goofball will remember this. I mean, obviously he's going to remember this. You just had a fucking meltdown over pork chops. Everyone's going to remember this. So then she's confused, like, what did I do? You said you don't want to talk to me, so I'm leaving you alone. He then says, fuck you, please leave me alone. Get the fuck out. And then she just says, you're the one texting me just to say leave you alone. And then he again comes in, I don't want to talk or see you at all. And then she just, again, I didn't even respond to you. Okay, good night, I love you too. Just trying to get out of this conversation because he just keeps coming back to just say, leave me alone. Stop talking to me. Why aren't you talking to me? Hey, stop talking to me. I'm texting you one more time just to let you know. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. It's craziness. It's craziness. So this is the end of the text message screenshots, but the story continues. Right after this, the following morning, he continued this behavior, this attitude, and ended up dumping her because of this whole pork chop fiasco, which is a huge blessing in disguise for her because this is not a good partner. This is a crazy person. To have this level of blow up over not getting pork chops, wow, that is some concerning delusion. So she does expand on it a little bit. He continued to insult her the following day before dumping her. So just a piece of shit all around. And I just had to talk about this one because I don't think I've ever seen a relationship, at least of this long, 3 years. They apparently were saving up for a house, end over something so trivial. I haven't seen a relationship crumble over something so meaningless like this. This is a wild case here. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this one a little bit. I know I said I was going to do 2, but I've kind of been yapping about this one for quite a while now, so maybe I'll just save the second one for tomorrow and I'll let it be like a little teaser. I think that's what I'll do. This will be your little appetizer for tomorrow's, where I cover the other really unbelievably awful relationship crumbling text messages. But anyway, I feel bad for the girl here, but I am happy to know that they're not together anymore. I think that's a very good thing for her going forward. I know it's going to be tough for a little while, but wishing her the best. And for the dude in the story here, wishing him nothing but really bad mac and cheese and no pork chops for the rest of his life. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Boy, oh boy, do I have some good news for you today. It's time for a little holly jolly celebration because Santa Claus came early with the gifts. This loser has finally been arrested. Now, I'm sure none of you recognize this guy. This is probably not a face any of you have seen unless you're a woman in New York, and in that case, this is probably a face that you swiped left on Tinder for. But this is the face of the man known as Penguinz0, the infamous street racer who's blown up on Instagram and YouTube over the last few months. This isn't like a really stunning revelation, he just looks like a normal asshole. It's not like some kind of big twist like it's Bruce Wayne behind the Batman mask or anything. But I actually recently talked about Squeeze because he went on Neon's stream and did his street racing stunt maneuvers and ended up getting in a hit and run live on Kick. So of course I was making fun of him and tossing tomatoes, shouting boo. I think it is so incredibly lame to do the kind of shit that Penguinz was, where he'd just go out on public roads and put everyone's lives in danger around him, just driving fast and recklessly for his content. And this is a criminal who is addicted to attention, which has to be the worst combination for a human being ever. If you are a criminal, the last thing that you would want is a lot of eyes on you. But this guy, Jiminy Christmas, he was absorbing it like a sponge in a sink. This guy was more addicted to attention than a heroin addict is to the needle. This guy couldn't get enough of it, so he took every opportunity imaginable to promote himself. So this was always inevitable. He was either going to get arrested or get himself or someone else killed. Luckily, he was arrested before the second thing happened. Now, before really diving into the weeds of the arrest here and everything around it, I want to show you a little bit more of the lore to Squeeze, so you can get a big taste of the cringe that is Penguinz0.
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I did have some professional.
This guy must have found a moron potion at some point in his life and he has not been able to break the curse. The effects still linger. He did an interview with Tommy G, a very popular video, over 8 million views here, where he's revealing some pretty sensitive information really, all while acknowledging that he's one of the most wanted people in the area by the authorities. How stupid can you be? He's going on a press tour here to promote himself while actively engaging in illegal activity and putting himself in as many places as possible, giving authorities all the evidence they could ever require. He also has the gall to call himself a professional. He is a talented driver, no doubt, but the only thing he's a professional at is not dying. That's it. He's going out there and gambling with everyone's lives and his own, and nothing beyond that. He's not a professional at anything, he's just currently surviving. Is all.
How I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they tried keeping up with me and they've crashed.
How fast do you go?
I mean, there's been a video on live where I've gone one-handed 210 miles an hour.
Filming with one hand, driving with the other, 210 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's insane. Did that scare you?
Not really, just to build up a tolerance of just speed.
Do you feel like the police watch your Instagram?
100%, they do.
Let's pop in the
100% they do, which is why I'm doing all of these interviews to help them in their pursuit. It reminds me of this classic story where the police put out a post on Facebook asking for information about a woman who was an accessory to a murder, and the woman they were looking for actually commented on the post asking about the reward money that was being offered, and so they were able to find her because of that. Squeeze and that lady are two sides of the same coin, just pure degenerate dummy. Anyway, though, he's finally been arrested after an incident that happened back in April where Squeeze allegedly made an illegal turn and proceeded to elude the police at high speeds. Then officers found videos of him committing various traffic violations throughout the tri-state area. Apparently the NYPD did a little fusion dance and a fist bump with another department, and they worked together and found Squeeze because he was wanted on other charges including burglary, theft, conspiracy, and more. I was reading a couple of other reports where he allegedly punched a 20-year-old man in a deli. So I'm not exactly sure what all went down there, but ultimately it ended with him getting arrested and the NYPD commissioner taking a victory lap here and dunking on him on Twitter by saying Penguinz is in custody thanks to New York's finest. And then he posted a picture of his Instagram with the word apprehended slapped across it there, as if it's some kind of busted thing in Grand Theft Auto. So Antonio going from squeeze bins to squeeze mins here, being shoulder to shoulder squeezed into a cell with other dudes, hopefully. But there's no telling if he's actually going to face real prison time. It seems he's been released because after all of this, he did make an Instagram post about how he can't go live on there. So then he made a Twitch account, which I can't find. I do see a Squeeze Bins account there, but there's nothing on it, and I think that's just an impersonator trying to capitalize off of this. His original Instagram account appears to be banned, and the only one I can find is another one that appears to be an impersonator, but maybe it really is him. I have no fucking clue. I also can't help but giggle that he decided to make a Twitch account instead of a Kick account. Like, not even this blatant criminal who has already broadcast crimes on Kick wants to make an account over there and stream on purpose. He still decided to go to Twitch first and foremost. That's kind of crazy to me because Kick is the home of broadcasting illegal activity. They don't do shit about it there. They give you like a subtle thumbs up because it's driving more traffic to their site. That should be home turf for Antonio here. Squeeze Bins would be hoisted on their shoulders like a golden goose. And yet he still said, ew, I'll just go to Twitch instead. That boggles my mind a little bit. I did laugh when I read that he made a Twitch account. I wish they'd make an example out of him here. He's not like the only one doing this kind of content, the lone alpha wolf or anything here. This is a pretty popular niche of content online where people will just put on a helmet or wear some kind of mask and then just commit crimes. And like, taunt authorities driving around recklessly, endangering a bunch of innocent people's lives on the road for content and views on Instagram and YouTube and shit. He is far from the only one doing this. So I think if they would actually give a fuck here and pursue real serious charges and actual repercussions for his actions, it could help to dissuade others from pursuing this. At least I would hope. I would really like them to not play softball here and actually do something about this. He has been caught. Hand in the cookie jar here. He has all of this evidence that he himself has compiled about his crimes and how he's not remorseful and will always continue to do it, most likely. Why the fuck would you just give him a slap on the wrist? It's also more than the dangerous driving. He apparently beats people in delis, at least according to some of the reports here. Like, this is not someone that they should just be playing like patty cake with here and saying, hey, don't do it again. All right, now get out of here. Come on, scram. Like, this is something that they should be taking far, far more seriously. I really hope that his release is a temporary thing as they build up a meteor case against him, so that way he'll actually get thrown in the slammer. There's just no excuse for it at all. Just going onto public roads and compromising everyone's safety for your content, I just think it truly super sucks. And I think the fans of this kind of content are extraordinarily annoying. So there are still like Squeeze Bins enthusiasts that are losing sleep over this, thinking that he's done nothing wrong. Nobody got hurt, even though in his interview with Tommy G, he says that people have tried to emulate him and they have crashed. So people have literally gotten hurt. He also did get involved in a hit and run on stream, but whatever, I suppose. Just go ahead and ignore reality here and continue to live in fucking delusional Narnia land. But, you know, hey, they're Squeeze Bins guys. Of course they wear diapers and eat glue. Is what it is, I guess, but I'm just super happy that he's finally been arrested, and I can only hope that they do throw the book at him. So yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. A new Pokemon set just dropped, so if you value your life, stay inside at all costs, because this is going to pile up more bodies than the bubonic plague. Pokemon right now is no longer a hobby, it's a battlefield, where scalpers climb over themselves like World War Z zombies to try and get their hands on as much product as possible so they can make like $3. What a sad way of life, more pathetic than even a mosquito. So, there's a line here for the Destined Rivals stock at Walmart. This guy at the front of the line probably was camping out for 2 days, abandoned his family in order to pursue glory of flipping some Pokemon product for like maybe double digits profit. One brave soul dared encroach on his Pokemon territory there. He came into his domain and grabbed one ETB, Elite Trainer box, as this guy was still filling his gluttony. I thought for sure the guy in the mask was going to pull it down and he was going to be like Melina from Mortal Kombat or something. He was going to fucking bite his throat out. I thought he was going to attack him like a pit bull, just start chomping on flesh, because he dared take a box from him as he was buying the whole inventory. And I'm shocked that that didn't unleash a floodgate of everyone else who was waiting in line for this product to just start taking from this guy's cart, just cannibalizing him.
Oh yeah. He's actually plugging me right now. All they have is Journey Together here, a bunch of singles, this, and they have a couple of these little optics. Other than that, they don't have anything. This store is dead.
He left a couple of morsels still on the plate. This saint decided to leave some singles there for Destined Rivals. For the 10 plus people waiting in line, he took everything else, picked it clean off the bone here. I hope this guy loses so much money on this. I hope he eats the fattest shit, the stinkiest pile. Pokemon, if you're listening, please print Destined Rivals till the cows come home so the scalpers are just left in tears. So everyone has easy access for it and don't have to pay above MSRP to get their hands on it. That would be glorious. Speaking of glory, there's one thing that you need in order to achieve your maximum potential, and that's good hygiene. And that starts with good soap. So use Cheeky soap for that going forward. Our soap is the best soap in the fucking universe. Go to usecheeky.com right now to get some soap. Not the smoothest of plugs here, but I wanted to put it in anyway. Scalpers, they all smell like ass, like actual turbo cheeks. You don't want to be like scalpers, right? So get some Cheeky soap. I've seen this short clip float around a lot in the last day. This is allegedly an LCS owner, local card store owner, meaning he has his own card business, who is now taking all of the Elite Trainer boxes of Destined Rivals off the shelf in front of a child. The kid even turns around looking extremely sad and confused about what's happening. And it kind of reminds me of, like, you know how on Halloween some houses will set out a bowl of candy saying, please take one, but then there's some, like, asshole trick-or-treaters, or even parents most of the time, actually, that'll take the bowl and just empty the whole thing into their bag, and then the other kids come up and look really disappointed there's no candy left. That is what it looks like right here. Like, in real time. That guy should be ashamed of himself. I don't know how he doesn't look in the mirror with disgust every morning for this shit. This greasy meatball of a man looks like he siphons Miller Lite out of his car's tank, and now he's out here just ruining a hobby that's meant to be for kids. Now, it's not just that guy, of course. It's tons of people just like him. Now again, I don't know if the claims that it's an LCS owner are true or not. That might just be made up for the shocking nature of it. Like, wow, this business owner, this card shop owner doing this, does it get lower than that? I also don't even know if the video itself is 100% accurate. It could be like that's his kid. Doesn't really seem like it's his kid, because it looks like the kid turns around and looks at his dad confused. Like, if that was his kid, I feel like the kid would be more enthusiastic about it as opposed to still waiting in the line as that guy's leaving. Also, probably wouldn't just be holding money out, waiting to use it on something. But again, maybe it's also possible this whole video is staged and it's fake. But honestly, I doubt it for a variety of reasons. The biggest one being, the Destined Rivals ETBs are flying off the shelves right now, so if this guy was able to get there early enough to be there to have 10 still available and get his grubby paws on them, then that means he was legitimately at that location and there was a line there. So there definitely were people there, and I doubt they would have been able to set this up without others just going in and taking the product from them. So I think it's probably real. I just don't know about the claims of that being an LCS owner or not, because there's no confirmation there or anything. But regardless of whether he's an LCS owner or not, it is pathetic douchebag behavior. Scalpers are basically subhuman. It's crazy. And it's not just in person where these troglodytes leave their caves in order to try and grab Pokemon product to scalp. They have entire bot farms set up to buy out online inventory from like Walmart and shit. So here's a video from someone named Steven TCG, who's just scrolling through all of these bot purchases for Pokemon product for over 1:40, and that doesn't even encapsulate every purchase that was in this channel. It's completely out of control. But what's crazy is this is an extremely fragile business model. All of this scalping for Pokemon is entirely built upon and relies on people's hype and inability to control themselves because they need their fix. They got to get their blue meth in, and they're hoping that people will be willing to continue spending over MSRP for it, whether that's collectors or other scalpers. So these ghouls that we keep seeing go in and they try and buy as much product as they can, as quickly as they can, to turn it around and sell it while the demand is still extremely high, but supply is starting to dwindle because so much of it is being taken right away. So they're immediately charging more for it because people aren't having easy access to it, but they still really want it. It's new, it's fresh, the demand's there, so they're trying to capitalize on it, so they're charging over MSRP. If people collectively decided, no, we're not playing ball with that, we're not going to be paying over MSRP for Pokemon anymore, that would put the scalpers in a really big pickle. Of course, it's extremely unlikely that day ever comes, but that would do it. That would make a big effect on scalping. Or if Pokemon themselves started overprinting the sets, like just out the wazoo, that would also put a huge dent in the scalpers. Or if every business would put purchase limits in place, like Walmart. Like, if Walmart had a 1 per person limit, that would also go a long way to combating this. There's a lot of ways to stop it. It is, in fact, a terrible profession for these absolute fucking homunculi. Like, it is a terrible, terrible business. It just, right now, is so hot that it is working for some people in very small ways. They're not making millions of dollars. They're making dollars of dollars. Like, maybe 5 to 10s of dollars. It's just... They've been convinced from all of this hype that they can make a killing doing it. And there are some people that do, but it's rare. But everyone is convinced they're that rare exception that's going to do it and make tons. But what ends up happening is they just end up getting a ton of product that they'll never be able to move, and it just makes it so the price is now too high for anyone to engage with. Thus, the people that actually want it for either collecting or even, God forbid, playing the card game, the whole reason it was designed, can't get their hands on it because they can't afford it anymore. It's just disastrous. The whole Pokemon TCG community right now is a cesspool because of scalpers like this. So, anyway, I just want to talk about it again because Destin Rivals is just fresh off the press and it's already madness. That's about it. See ya. It's always adorable when a villain or clown from a previous season of YouTube drama pokes their curious little heads out from the shadow just to remind everyone that they're still out there and still an insufferable loser. That's what we're dealing with today. It's a YouTuber named TechLead, and a couple of years ago, CoffeeZilla threw him into the Thunderdome and smacked him down and exposed to the world that this guy is a superstar scammer. And this week, he tried to puff out his chest and spread his invisible, non-existent lats by copyright claiming and taking down a video another YouTuber made about him that hurt his feelings. Internet Anarchist made a video kind of just going over the CoffeeZilla vs. TechLead saga from a while back, and TechLead decided to copyright strike him and openly, on camera, with 4K video evidence, admit to falsely flagging him and abusing the YouTube copyright system. This delusional douchebag attempted to take a victory lap over Internet Anarchist's corpse, gloating about his abuse of the YouTube copyright system. His sensitive little feelings led to the hatred blinding his eyes like cataracts, and him not realizing that he is openly admitting to something you are not allowed to do and can get into big trouble for. As I've mentioned in the past, there is a very popular case where YouTube themselves actually stepped in when someone was notorious for false flagging other YouTubers' content, took them to church and put the fear of God in them. Like, the false flagger back then got slapped with massive fines per instance of their abuse of that copyright system. So it is something that is taken very seriously, and this dumb, insufferable asshole is openly admitting to it on camera. That's not even doing it justice. He is so proud of it, he was wearing that like a Boy Scout badge on his jacket. But I'm assuming the stupid potion that he drank must have wore off, or maybe someone in his life kicked down the front door and told him how terrible of an idea that video was, because he has deleted it as of this afternoon. So the only footage I have to show you is from the Internet Anarchist, who was kind of just cutting the most shocking bits of what he openly admits to.
I tend to copyright strike down any expose videos on me because I understand that these are not real exposés. There's no journalism involved in here at all.
Journalism is probably the boogeyman that keeps him up at night, haunting his nightmares. Because any journalist that ever looks into Tech Lead will find the most filthy and foul resume ever. This guy super sucks, and any journalism that's ever done on him only further exposes how much of a scumbag he is. I also just have to mention that the title of his video where he talks about this actually gave me a bit of a belly laugh like fucking Santa Claus. He had the chutzpah to call the YouTubers he's referring to in the video scam tubers and put it in his title. Marinate in that for a moment. That's like Justin Timberlake calling someone else an alcoholic.
Welcome to the world of business where people are afraid that they're going to be doxxed. Well, if you're going to come into business and do business in this world, yes, you're going to be doxxed. You better have an identity. And so then he takes to Twitter complaining he's going to have to dox himself to the Tech Lead. So you're saying I have to share my personal information to Tech Lead or let my video be taken down? He's afraid he has to be doxxed if he wants to counter the dispute. YouTube jumps in and says, well, you can also hire an attorney if you want to represent yourself. Well, yeah, this is business, right? People have a complaint against you. You can't just be a nobody and hide behind anonymity, right?
You don't even have a real complaint. You have hurt feelings and thinning hair from the stress of being such a whiny loser. This is a ridiculous statement that just because you're in that field, you need to be doxxed. It's just, the way he talks about it, it just comes with the territory. You're out of your fucking gourd. Like, you've lost your marbles. I also can't stand the way he talks. He actually just sounds like what I imagine every Reddit mod who thinks their job is the most important thing in the world sounds like.
One of the main reasons I will actually copyright strike a video, though, is I want to know who's behind the video, right? I want to know who these people are. What if it's somebody I even know in real life? Oftentimes these haters are people who know you very well, actually. I mean, this could be a real physical threat to me.
That's called paranoia. Like, that's an actual mental disorder that you've got here. You might want to get yourself checked out for that one. You think that someone just making a video on the history of CoffeeZilla spanking your cheeks red could have been someone that you knew in real life that could lead to a physical threat against you because he made like a video essay about it. Come back to reality, Tech Lead. Snap out of the genjutsu that you're trapped under here. I don't know what world you're seeing. Like, that is a crazy perspective to have on it. Like, legitimately, that is unhinged. Now, I don't think he actually believes it. Like, in all honesty, I think the only reason he's putting that there is like a cover your own ass token as like a, oh, well, that sounds reasonable to like the mind of a Neanderthal, perhaps. But anyone who thinks about that for even like an iota of a second would immediately recognize that that is a ridiculous thing to actually believe, and I don't think he does. He's using that as some kind of justifiable reason for why he does that, but even he backpedals on that so quickly. Like, he gives up on that facade almost immediately.
Really, these scam tubers exist only because I allow them to exist. And I can shut them down anytime I like because I own all of the copyrights to the images and audio that they're using.
A complete fundamental misunderstanding of how anything in the real world works. What the fuck are you yapping about? What? No, let me go ahead and set the record straight here. They are your videos, sure. But anyone can take those videos and make their own creative pieces about them using clips from them. That has been argued in court 100 times at least, and every single time it is always ruled that that is completely okay to do, fair use, as long as they're not taking your entire video and using it, or doing nothing transformative with it, then they have the legal right to do so. They can take your video and highlight moments from it. Talk about moments from it, the same way I'm doing right here to throw tomatoes at you. What I'm doing isn't journalism. I'm just spitting on you and making fun of you for the absolute clown that you are. And I can do that, and there's not shit you can do about it legally. You're more than welcome to try. I will 100% use every single resource available to the entire legal firm that we have at our agency, Mana, which I am an owner of, to absolutely take you to court and embarrass you if you want to go that route. Though I don't think you want discovery to happen on your end, just a little hunch there, Tech Lead. But the point is, you're just completely wrong. Like this little supervillain monologue you're giving, like pinky to the mouth like Dr. Evil. They exist because I allow them to. Like, your dumb little fucking speech has no teeth to it because it's completely fucking wrong.
I will issue these copyright strikes on these new YouTuber, scam tuber videos. And I don't really care one way or another, I guess, but it's more of a hazing ritual for me, like a welcoming ceremony, just to let them know what they're in store for. And who runs the show around here? Who owns the content around here?
Oh God, Jesus, stand back! Whoa, whoa, this guy means business, holy shit! He's going insano style. Gee, wow, he's going fucking swag mode. He runs the show, he's the big dog, he's the big shot, the sheriff on the block, watch out! Damn! Yeah, this all seems like the actions of someone who really doesn't care. Whining in a YouTube video about why you're falsely copyright striking other YouTubers, and then openly admitting that it's not even legitimate, it's a hazing ritual for you, a welcoming ceremony. That's the lamest shit I've ever heard. I have no doubt that you got wedgies growing up, and now this is your way of taking some of that power back. That's what I feel with this shit.
So this is my welcoming ceremony. What happens next in these copyright strike cases is typically we go into court proceedings where I have 30 days to file a legal action, which typically I'm not going to waste anybody's time doing. This is really just my welcoming ceremony, hazing ceremony for people. And so the video will probably be back up after a while. Now, regarding these copyright claims, the truth is I don't really care. If I wanted to, I could go find all of these expose videos about me and copyright strike each and every one of them and take them down and take them to court if I really cared, if I wanted to.
You could absolutely try and do that. Just like I could try and do a backflip right now and probably break my fucking neck. But you can definitely try it and you would 100% fail. Just like me if I tried to do a backflip. You are openly admitting here, this right here would be evidence if you tried this. Because you are openly admitting that it's just a hazing ritual, welcoming ceremony, and not real. They're fraudulent strikes that you're issuing, blatantly abusing the copyright system. So, if you did actually take these to court, like the big shot you are, you would probably incur huge fines as a result of it, just like the last guy that YouTube beat down financially for this exact thing that you're talking about here. How dumb can you possibly be? He is with his whole chest talking about how he's abusing the YouTube copyright system here. And that is something that YouTube does take very seriously. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do about this going forward. He has deleted his confession video already, and now Internet Anarchist video has been reinstated as well. At the very least, it seems YouTube is aware of this situation, so it's just a matter of what are they going to do about it going forward. But yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. This guy, Tech Lead, is a complete fucking loser. That's really about it. So yeah. Last month, a group of scammers successfully stole $240 million from a single victim, but their success was short-lived. This group of dweebs lasted about as long as Concord did because within a month, they were caught and assets frozen, 2 of them already being indicted, and it's all thanks to Zach XBT. This is someone I've talked about before. This guy is like Jason Bourne. If he's on your tail, your goose is cooked. Zach XBT is a scammer's worst nightmare. Him and CoffeeZilla I have the utmost respect for. They do incredible work with holding these pieces of shit accountable and catching them. And Zach XBT spearheaded this crazy investigation where he got everything. Like, he has probably more information on these guys than their own parents do. He's probably got all their fucking report cards from 2nd grade till they graduated. It is wild. And there's also video footage of them committing the crime. These goobers got the biblical smackdown put on them by Zach here. And since there's video recording of this, we get to hear from them, and holy shit, you get to hear just how sad and pathetic these dweebs are. And Zach also got like some of their messages that they exchanged, and one guy tried to use all of the money he stole to get girls, and yet continued to get rejected by all of them, at least from what we can see. It is unbelievable how pathetic they are. Anyway, here's kind of like the general breakdown of what happened. On August 19th of 2024, they targeted a Genesis creditor by calling his Google support via spoof number to compromise the account, calling his Gemini support claiming the account is hacked, social engineered victim into resetting 2-factor and sending Gemini funds to a compromised wallet, and then got the victim to use AnyDesk to share screen and leaked private keys from the Bitcoin core. He then also has some of the messages they exchanged about all of it. Reading through their messages, you can see that it's pretty much all social engineering. This is what hacking actually looks like for the most part. Very rarely is there a case where it's someone with fucking 5 keyboards surrounding them that they're typing on, injecting some kind of worm and code into the mainframe to hack, like the way it's portrayed in the movies with like a turbo hacker man with sunglasses on typing away furiously. Usually it's someone just pretending like, oh yes, I'm Phil Cheeseburger on behalf of Microsoft support, you're compromised. That's usually how it goes. So like reading through it, what you can do is, please just take a picture of the last 4 of the private key. You can crop the rest out and just please take the picture for now. You don't have to send it anywhere. So like they're just giving lines that they can feed this guy to convince him to do what they need in order to steal his money. They're basically just choosing dialogue tree options in a Bethesda game to try and steal people's shit.
No way. No fucking way.
I see it, bro. It's on the blockchain. It's on the blockchain, bro.
No fucking way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No fucking way.
Yo! We're done! We're done! Who's passing out? Do you know how much money that is?
It's a quarter,
Holy fuck!
quarter of a bill.
Rich.
Probably.
How much is it? Spent 3 ways or is it 4 ways? That's
Oh!
That's pretty pretty penny. Pretty 10 pretty pennies.
I'm gonna lose my shit!
I can legitimately hear the Cheeto dust and fedora that the guy's wearing who keeps saying, probably a pretty penny. Probably like 10 pretty pennies. He sounds so fucking congested. Like I'm congested out the wazoo right now. But even I don't sound that bad, I don't think. Good lord, brother. Holy. Dude just sounds like a wedgie magnet. It's actually baffling to me that they pulled this off and then had all of this evidence that they themselves gathered against themselves. Like, this is a private recording of them. You steal $240 million and you leave the biggest possible digital footprints. That's mind-boggling. Zach XBT claims that he has over an hour and a half of footage of these fucking goobers. There's also times where they slipped up revealing full names and other important information that Zach was able to gather. And the one I really want to focus on is Malone. Zach got some really good information on Malone because this guy loved to flaunt all of this shit. So he gets all this money and immediately starts spending $250 to $500K a night and giving out Birkin bags to random girls. There were girls on TikTok that were walking away from his parties just carrying Birkin bags, and I guarantee he didn't even get so much as a kiss on the cheek for it. This guy was blowing $500,000 a night to try and get laid, and I guarantee he's still a virgin. He even bought his crush a pink Lamborghini as well as 3 Birkin bags to try and lure her in and make her fall in love with him because of his money, and it doesn't work. He reaches out saying, I got you a present, we'll call it an early birthday gift, a thank you gift, I appreciate you so much, heart. And all she says is, I am taken once again, and he says, I don't care. Malone, I know you care. Dude probably fell to his knees, crying into his hands, all this money, and he still cannot get a girl to be interested in him. Seems like he's using every doubloon that he stole to try and buy a girl's heart, and it is not working for him. She just shuts it down immediately, reminding him that she has a boyfriend. Like, that's so good. She doesn't even say thank you, by the way. This guy must actually be a huge nuisance, like a big piece of shit. She doesn't even bother to try and thank him. He must always try and use money as leverage on people or some shit. Because she doesn't even entertain the idea for a second. That is so good. There is a part of me that hopes that she did at least still take the keys from him for the pink Lambo and then have the boyfriend reach out telling Malone thanks for the car. That would be the cherry on top. Now, Malone is one of the 2 that have already been indicted, so we get to take a look at this Casanova right here. This is the guy. We get to put a face to this pathetic douchebag. He was very public with all of his money and all of his spending too. So Zach XBT actually pulled up his Instagram and some of the photos on it where he'd flaunt the money that he stole and what he spent it on. Here's one from his Instagram page, which is unfortunately private now, so I can't peruse to see what other bangers might have been on there. But I love how even in this photo, Malone is like the least visible person there. His 2 friends are front and center and Malone is in the background. Even in his own Instagram post, he is not like the main focus. This guy must have just been like a perpetual fucking loser, even in his own friend group. He gets hundreds of millions of dollars here, and still they don't respect him and don't care about him. They just use him for his money, and he is fine with that. That's the impression I get. Here's some more photos from his partying where he'd blow hundreds of thousands a night and buy girls Birkin bags. Anyway, though, let's talk about some of the others. So Zach XBT identified pretty much everybody here, so another one that also got indicted is Box. Now, Zach was able to find not only the information on these people, but also where all the funds were coming through, which led to a lot of the funds being frozen, as I understand it. I highly recommend you go to Zach XBT's actual Twitter page if you want like a full in-depth breakdown on how he did all of this. It's extremely impressive, and I'm too stupid to fully understand all the ways that he was able to pull this off. But what I do understand is that Zach fucked him. Like, he absolutely went wild on him. And now, 2 of them have been indicted, and I think it's only a matter of time before the rest will also face justice too. Overall, though, after reading through it all, I'm pretty surprised at how effective this was from these snot-nosed weirdos. They didn't do anything particularly new with this. It seems like pretty standard by-the-book social engineering with the Google support phone call, that kind of shit. That's something people have done for years. The method by which they actually took the Bitcoin is pretty different. Like, I haven't seen that done before, but to actually get in the door through this social engineering method is something that has been done for so long. I am just kind of surprised that it still worked this well for them with someone that had that much money. You would think that they probably wouldn't fall for something like that, but what's been proven time and time again is that just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're super fucking smart. So they got very lucky that their victim played along, even gave them screen control, and they took that money. And the victim is very lucky that Zach XBT was on the case to catch all the people here and maybe at some point even get the money back. But right now, the thing to celebrate is that Zach XBT has done an incredible job with this investigation, identifying all of the scammers here and getting them to face justice. Hopefully the rest of them will face it as well, so they'll join Malone and Box. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I've thrown on the formal attire today because we need to discuss something very important. A huge loser named Bintellect. Big goofball, weirdo, lame-mo, behemoth creep. He is a big TikTok creator, and that's a word I'm using very loosely here, with 11 million followers, and I'm sure only people under the age of 10 have ever heard of him before. What he's become known for over the years is looking at tweets or comments, reading them out, and then going, heh, yeah. That's literally it. But sometimes it's a little hard to even muster a laugh, so what he'll do is he'll read one of the comments and then go, yeah, true. And then that's the whole TikTok. But I'm not here just to give him a little wet willy and laugh at him for all of his cringe. I am here to talk about something far more degenerate. But before doing that, I'd like to give a quick honorable mention to something else this piss stain of a person is notorious for doing. Threatening legal action against people that make fun of him. I've seen a couple videos on Bintellect now after I've been informed of the situation, so I did a little digging. Apparently when people make fun of him, he gets super offended and will either try and copyright strike, take down the video, copyright claim it to make money from it, or even go as far as to just threaten to sue the person that made fun of him. You disgusting goblin, you make me sick. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Now, while I do think a legal battle with Benjamin over me making fun of him would be hilarious, I still just don't really feel like showing you any of his clips because it's just going to rot your brain and it's yucky. It's just trash. So, no reason for that. Let's get into what I want to discuss, the new information that came out about this weirdo. So, Bintellect recently made a podcast, I suppose, and he invited someone on named Jordan Max, and then things got really odd. He got super hostile, and she ended up posting about it, which led to this dam breaking, and we were flooded with cringe about Bintellect's behavior over the years with women. So this horny little goblin asks her before going on the podcast, "Do you want to make a video for OnlyFans?" To which she says, "When?" He says, "Today." And then she's saying, "No, you need to be tested within the last 14 days and have an OnlyFans creator account." But then he says, "I mean a video for your page." Oh, what a benevolent saint. He was actually just thinking about her the whole time. He thought this would be a good opportunity for her to make some OnlyFans content with the great Big Bintellect. So she says, "Doing what?" And he goes, "I don't know what performs best on your page." I can literally see him doing this. Well, I mean, I don't know what we do. I mean, what do you do on OnlyFans? Maybe we could do that? So it's become pretty clear that Bintellect uses this podcast as a way of just fucking. It seems to me like the whole podcast existence is only here as a way of trying to get Bintellect laid. So he tries to leverage his big follower count to then invite on OnlyFans models and then ask if he can make content with them. It's pretty pathetic stuff, but we're only just beginning. He continues by saying, I was just thinking you're helping me with doing a video for my YouTube, so maybe I could help you with your OnlyFans. And she replies, I'm good, thanks. So then he goes, no worries. And then, hey, I'm gonna do the pickle video with someone else, thanks though. To which she asks, why? So the pickle video he's referring to is the podcast was going to be a pickle tier list mukbang or something like that, a pickle mukbang. And it was her idea, it was Jordan's idea, and he's now kicking her out because she declined to do an OnlyFans video with him. So his answer to why was, to be honest, I thought it would just be fun to film and see where things go, but I got it. So he gets real sad and pitiful, like, no, I get it. I just thought it'd be fun, but clearly it won't be fun. I'm gonna do it with someone else then, how about that? So he goes real Neanderthal mode here. My wiener no get wet, we no eat pickle together on podcast. Goodbye. How dare you not do OnlyFan video with Bintellect? So then he says he's doing it with someone else. So Jordan, of course, gets really weirded out by this exchange. She posts it on Twitter, and then Bintellect himself, the man, the myth, the legend, reaches out in DMs to threaten to sue her if she doesn't take down the post. She even did a video proving that the DM is real from the real Bintellect account, just to 100% silence any possible doubt. Also, her response to it is great. She said, I will just be waiting to hear from your lawyers then, which is hardcore. Obviously, Ben's not going to sue her. I don't think he's ever actually gone through with a lawsuit. He uses it to try and bully people to do what he wants. To do what he wants them to do, rather. So, I don't think any lawsuit was ever coming. This was just a last-ditch Hail Mary from a desperate, lonely guy to try and get rid of the evidence of him being a creep. So, that was the whole interaction between Bintellect and Jordan, but after this tweet started popping off, well, the series of tweets started popping off, she then started getting DMs with more screenshots and more evidence of Bintellect doing this to tons of different women. This comes from someone else who had a very similar experience to Jordan. So Ben opens with, do you work tomorrow? They say, crazy busy day, but I don't work. And then Ben goes, let's make some content tomorrow. Not like that, but just film a podcast. So he immediately alludes to like, oh, not OnlyFans type content. I'm talking about just a wholesome podcast, one the whole family can enjoy. Doesn't get an immediate response, so he goes, what do you think? He then waits about 2 hours more and he goes, you're killing me, gorgeous. So fucking embarrassing, Jesus Christ, that's so fucking awful to read. Yucky. And then he gives her about 3 more hours and then he goes, you know what, I've been thinking about this OnlyFans thing, and I think I could make us a lot of money, straight up. And then she finally does reply saying that she's just been busy taking a mental health day. So he can't even go more than like 3 messages without bringing up OnlyFans. It seems like the only thing on this guy's mind is sex, and how he's never getting it, I guess, but is very desperate too, and will do it by any means necessary to try and achieve coitus. From everything I can tell, Bintellect has never done any kind of OnlyFans content on his own, or like any type of explicit content. He's just a professional TikTok giggler. All he does is giggle at Twitter messages or comments, and that's it. So clearly he's not wanting to dip his toes into OnlyFans for the sake of becoming like an OnlyFans creator. He just wants to have sex with these women. And he's using his podcast as a vessel to try and do that, it seems. After she told him about the mental health day she was taking, he responds with, hey, thank you. And then the following day at 6:52 a.m., so this guy must have been up all night masturbating, because it seems like that's the only thing on this dude's mind, he sends her a message saying, do you want to come over tomorrow night? Actually, are you down to come over tonight? Or are you just a flake? Doesn't even give her time to respond, just immediately gets combative. He immediately just goes into fucking ballistic bin mode. So you coming over tonight, or are you just a flake? Huh? Are you just a fucking succubus? Huh? Is that it? Huh? So you coming over tonight? And then he waits only like an hour and 40 after that, and then he's like, you know what? Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, babe, but you're just too much of a flake. Bye. So then obviously she's like alarmed, like what the fuck is going on? So she says, you know, if you wouldn't have texted me so rudely calling me a flake after 1 day of not texting you, you might have stood a chance. I can see why you're single now. Goodbye. Which really just sends Ben off the rails. Yeah, whatever. Go fuck yourself. Says the girl who's trying to make an OnlyFans. Good luck. Brother, all you talk about is trying to do OnlyFans content with them. It seems like you're trying desperately to get into OnlyFans but keep getting rejected and can't handle it. So how can you have the gall to try and shame them for it when you are desperately trying to do it yourself? Here's a wacky little Snapchat one. Do you want to come over here and spend some time with me? Because on a side note, I do think I could probably make us some money on OnlyFans. Bintellect fucks crazy into oblivion. That's redacted right there, like a CIA document. I really wonder what he said. I think it's Bintellect fucks crazy pussy into oblivion or something. But I'm just going off of what I can see poking out from underneath the redaction. I think that's what it is. But this is so goofy. He's speaking about himself in the third person in this one. And then he even tries bribery. If you come over, I'll give you $1,000. I just really want you. And they respond, I'm good right now. Don't try to bribe me with money. That's weird. And then he's like, no, that is weird. But I want to see you. This one's a lot more vintage bin. So this was a different kind of relationship these two had as opposed to just the podcast OnlyFans hustle he keeps trying to run. So they start by saying, I guess it's just not meant to be. Bin says, facts, no hard feelings, but yeah, it ain't working. So then they part ways, or so it would seem. Bin has a couple of parting words here. He says, for your future self, if you're going to turn around on a guy and say, hey, I'm not down for friends with benefits shit, just say that before you go through all the bullshit. Boring as fuck. Not my problem that you turned around and quit drinking because you're an alcoholic and now pass out at 8 p.m. Fucking peace out, bitch. So Ben really, he went crazy. Ben lost it. This man, he was punching pillows, sending these texts with tears in his eyes, and he got real nasty. They respond to it saying that they're far from an alcoholic, and then Ben just keeps going crazier saying, no, you're an alcoholic, and you're full of shit. And then he's like, anyway, I'm done. I just had to say that because you're full of shit. They respond saying that they weren't interested in being with Ben, and he should have taken the hint a while ago, but then Ben he goes absolutely berserk again. She says that she's wasting people's time and that she needs to just shut up and go to bed. And then she says, it sounds like you need some anger management help, which is a very fair assessment. I think he desperately needs some assistance with this anger management. And then Ben tries to flip this shit around like, how dare you? Are you kidding me? So he goes, be careful who you say that to, Maria, because there are people who really need help with that. So Ben lets out a gasp. That's super disrespectful to say that to somebody, and also a very basic-ass bitch thing to say. Benjamin, it's a very fair thing to say here. It's not disrespectful. You legitimately need some help. It very much seems like you do. So then he goes, there's a reason you've been single for this many years, and it's because no one wants you, and no one cares about you. You're full of shit. Basic, boring loser. He just goes on, and even has this little monologue here that ends with him saying, God help any guy that you gets involved with that loose pussy because you're just lame. Mic drop ho. This guy just typed out mic drop ho. He just typed that out. He's over 30 years old. I think he's like 34 years old or something like that. I already forgot. This is a 30-something year old man, and he just typed out mic drop ho. To which she responds, I'm sure your TikTok fans will love the way you talk to women when I post these screenshots. And then he's like, you know what? Good luck. I stand by every single word that I just said to you. So, did he stand by every single word that he said? Let's look at his initial apology, which he deleted pretty shortly after posting it, and then also hid replies on. Let's look at his first apology. I've recently been accused of some heinous actions and would like the opportunity to share my disgust at these accusations. I'm a firm believer in the rights and equality of all humans, including women. If that's not the biggest red flag immediately, I don't know what else is. I stand by the rights for all humans, and that does include women. Those creatures. I am including them in that statement because that's the kind of angel I am. It makes it sound like he's drawing a distinction between women and every other human on the planet, like they're a totally separate species that aren't included in humanity. What an absolute incomprehensible weirdo. I grew up in a home with 3 sisters and no brothers, so I learned very early on the importance, power, love, and abilities women have. They deserve to be cherished and uplifted and treated with respect, and that's how I live my life. I do not condone the statements or accusations that have suddenly been hoisted upon me, and I hope to speak to anyone who feels they have been wronged. He's actually going with I have sisters. I can't hate women. I have sisters. No. I have 3 sisters. You guys don't understand. I could never do this to women. Like, you're misunderstanding. These are all baseless accusations. I have 3 sisters. I legitimately cannot be mean to women. And not only do I have 3 sisters, but my mother is also a woman. So you should see how ridiculous these claims are now, knowing this context with my 3 sisters and mother. So that should hopefully clear up all of the air here with these accusations. Like I mentioned, he did delete this apology post, but today he did release a new apology on TikTok. He released an apology video, so let's take a peek at that. Also, Ben, I know you're still watching. You probably plan on suing me if I show your apology video because you've employed this tactic before against other YouTubers. If they've shown clips of your content to make fun of you, you allege that it's stealing your work and you have a legal ground to take it down and come after them. You don't. That's not how that works. Me showing this is not any kind of violation in any way, shape, or form. So if you do try and sue me or copyright claim this video, copyright strike the video, anything like that, I will 100% respond with every single option at my disposal in order to follow this legal case through to its fullest conclusion. So let's check out your apology, brother.
Hey guys, there's a lot being said about me on the internet right now, and I just wanted to clear the air. The first thing I want to say is I'm sorry to anyone that I've made feel uncomfortable.
I love how nonchalant he is about this whole thing, just trying to downplay the situation. Like, if I made any of you feel a bit icky, a little uncomfy, I'm super sorry. That wasn't my intention. You must have misunderstood. It's not what I'm about. When in reality, he would snap, get aggressive, hostile, combative anytime he was denied sex.
I want to say to any girl who I've been rude to, whether through text or in person, that I'm sorry. I understand that me being sorry does not excuse that kind of behavior. I will continue to work on myself and do better. Thanks, guys.
Behold, the first AI ChatGPT written apology. This just ticked every basic box. There's really nothing of value here at all. Just like the quickest, weakest apology, and he's just gonna go forward doing his little, look at this tweet. Like nothing ever happened. So that's kind of where everything's at. Dog shit apology, dog shit situation. This guy is a big old loser. So let's use this as a learning opportunity for anyone watching. Don't be like Bintellect. That's really about it. See ya. Yeah, my hair's wet because I just got out of the shower. I've been smoking on that West Virginia sticky couch co-op, and it's got me feeling like making fun of some more Pokemon scalpers. This has become a pretty embarrassing epidemic, with grown men fighting each other over Pokemon cards. A month ago, I was covering the Pokemon brawls that were breaking out across the country when Costco made the fatal decision to start stocking Pokemon products. God rest all the souls we lost on that day. Many a brave warrior were sent straight to Valhalla fighting to get their grubby paws on Pokemon boxes. That was always going to end one way. Death. Costco and Pokemon together, that's just gonna be catastrophic 100% of the time. That's like a nitroglycerin plant announcing they're gonna start selling fireworks. Anyway, it's not like the scalpers have been hibernating or anything. They've just been fighting in different locations without as much footage surfacing until today. I saw a goofy little fight break out at a Pokemon vending machine. Now, I've never seen one of these in the wild, but these are Pokemon vending machines where you can buy product out of it. And typically they're empty because scalpers come through like the Grinch and buy up the entire inventory and sell it online for a markup. That's how they live their life. Actually taking candy from babies for a $10 profit. It's fucking sickening. So in this video, these are apparently 2 known scalpers in the Bay Area that start duking it out at 10 a.m. off of a fresh restock. Now, speaking of fresh, if you want to start smelling better, if you don't want to be as stinky as these losers in the videos we're about to watch, then you need to start using Cheeky Soap. We actually just came out with 2 new scents. Absolute Cinnamon and Spope. Spope is spa soap, so we just combined the 2 words together. So this is like a eucalyptus scent. This one's obviously cinnamon. They're available now. Go to usecheeky.com right now. Now, I can't play the audio because it's just DMCA music. So the person who uploaded this is the guy currently at the vending machine and is now getting boxed out by the Eagles hoodie gentleman. So Humpty Dumpty here with that NBA caliber box out, he's throwing that ass back on the guy who uploaded this. And I love this pose right here. This is that Spider-Man 2 stopping the train moment. Man is fucking, it looks like he's protecting the president, like he's about to like take bullets for the guy here, the way that he stretches out like that. I'll play the rest in a moment, but they're bumping and grinding at the Pokemon vending machine. And the guy decided not to keep the original audio in and elected to put a song there instead. I think that's a really weird decision, and I think the reason he would do that is because the Eagles hoodie guy was probably confronting him about scalping. That's, like, based on what I've been reading as well, that seems likely because that guy is apparently a known scalper who actually camps restocks of these fucking Pokemon vending machines, and it stands to reason that if Eagles hoodie guy was calling him out on that, you know, boo, boo, this guy stinks, he's buying every Pokemon box, this sucks. Well, he obviously wouldn't want to leave that in for the video because then nobody would be on his side. And if, like, you can see him at the Pokemon vending machine, he looks like he's about to place an order when the video starts, and then Kevin James from Hitch comes in here getting him with that fucking wobble swag, throwing that ass in a circle on him, getting him out of the way. So, if he just came in there out of nowhere to, like, kick him off the machine so he could hog it all to himself, I imagine he would have left the audio in because it was so unreasonable and so unexpected. That's just my working game theory. I saw a couple Facebook group posts as well as a couple Reddit posts saying they recognize this guy from their local Pokemon vending machines around the Bay Area and basically doing the same thing where he'd be there right when it restocked and grab a ton of product from it. Now, I also saw that the guy who boxed him out has a lot of people who apparently recognize him as well. He's not some virtuous hero, you know. Ass Ketchum is not using those cheeks for good. Apparently, he too cruises these Pokemon vending machines, buying up a ton of product from it. So it does seem like the original caption of two known scalpers, you know, fighting at 10 a.m. is accurate based on everything I've read from the Bay Area Pokemon community, as well as some of the other people that have talked about this. Anyway, though, back to the action. You can see he is still in a wide power stance saying, "You shall not pass." And he's instigating this scuffle, by the way, yet he's leaving himself totally undefended. He could have caught the meanest knuckle sandwich of 2025. That move would have been super effective. It would have had him blasting off like Team Rocket. Anyway, though, the action's winding down in the fourth quarter and they go their separate ways. That was pretty awesome. That right there is what Pokemon's all about. At least in the modern day and age. There are so many fights for Pokemon cards. It is unbelievable. But yeah, like I said, these Pokemon vending machines are apparently a hotspot for scalpers. So, one thing that's been kind of popular is people will go there and just start filming and shaming some of the scalpers, and I really appreciate that. I think they're doing a very strong public service by filming these shameless fucking degenerate losers who go there buying tons and tons of product and then going online to sell it for a markup to kids or parents looking to buy something for their kids. Now, I also have said this before, and a lot of people disagree with me, but fuck you, I'm right. I think Pokemon has become less for kids and more for people like this. Adults that view it as a money-making conduit. So they'll see things like the Pokemon Oreo collab, right? And they'll go and buy tons of Pokemon Oreos hoping to get like the Mew one and sell it on eBay for $100. So I feel like most Pokemon products never even really get into the hands of kids predominantly. It is mainly in the hands of adults, like greedy assholes, that are buying it to try and make money off of it. That's kind of what the entire hobby of Pokemon seems to be becoming. Of course, I'm sure there's data to prove me wrong, but I'm going to plug my ears to that. Fuck you. The data can suck my dick. I think my feeling is more accurate here for this. Because every time there's a Pokemon set, a Pokemon collab, a Pokemon fucking fart somewhere out there, you will have hundreds, thousands of grown-ass dudes going out there to try and make money off scalping it. So it sucks. It super sucks. Anyway, let me show you some scalpers real quick so we can make fun of more of them.
Don't be this fucking guy right here, look. Don't be these two assholes taking all this shit right there. We're all waiting in the fucking line to make fucking $20.
Now, I think it's worth mentioning that Pokemon themselves are aware of the scalping problem, so recently they implemented some new policies to these machines, one of them being anti-loitering and a couple other things meant to combat this. It's not working. Hey, sorry to hit you with the cold water, it is not working. I also heard there were like purchase limits in place, but that doesn't work either because you can just make like maximum purchase limit and then just stay at the machine and then do maximum purchase limit again. So the protocol aren't stopping the scalping problem. I don't know exactly what they can do for these vending machines to stop it. I mean, maybe you hire the Pinkertons and each vending machine comes with its own armed security guard to ensure no scalpers get to ransack it. I really don't know. But at least they're aware of the issue. Maybe they can do something about it down the line that I'm not smart enough to think of, but I truly don't know. Scalpers are a huge issue across the board. They are a scourge on the entire planet, not just to Pokemon. But in Pokemon, I'd say scalpers are some of the worst and most pathetic I've seen.
Here we go again. Cleaning out the machine once again. Every single time I see this guy at the machine is getting cleared out. He doesn't care if it's singles, bundles, ETBs, he's just clearing everything out.
They know how scummy it is too. You can see in all of these like confronting scalper videos, they like get really shy and try and like hide away. Like this guy's just blatantly trying to hide his face. The other two guys, they looked like they were on the verge of tears. Like they know that it's shitty, but they don't care. That little $20 they can make online, that makes it all worth it. They're hustling right now. They're on the grind. I've probably been yapping about this for too long now anyway, so I'll just stop it there. But yeah, Pokemon scalping still super sucks. Really shameful shit. That's really about it. So yeah. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally reaching the point where annoying, destructive pranksters are getting arrested more and more frequently. It is glorious. I'm going to talk about someone that I know none of you have ever heard of. His name is Tommy Tough Knuckles. That's actually what he calls himself. Something an 11-year-old would have named themselves on Xbox Live in 2004. He's now been slapped with 8 criminal charges, a nice charcuterie board of consequences.
Kyle, you wanted attention, now you got it.
But Kyle Vasquez had trouble navigating all the attention at court today. Big trouble. First, an obscene gesture.
Hey, what are you doing? What? We're not doing that.
Yep, he's handling it exactly how you'd expect someone like him to. Like a bitch. I'll get into what landed him here in this pickle in a moment. What did they finally get on the infamous Tommy Tough Knuckles, the biggest, baddest guy on the playground? It is pathetic. This guy is a super loser. I still can't even believe he willingly chose to call himself Tommy Tough Knuckles at 21 years old. His name is Kyle. He made a conscious decision to go by Tommy Tough Knuckles like it's his fucking fursona or something, while looking like this. There's no way this goober has ever been in a scrappy situation. I highly doubt he's ever been in a fight. The only thing he's using those knuckles for is gripping his cock while sadly jerking himself to sleep at night.
Now to the arrest in Suffolk County of a prankster clamoring for online fame.
Yeah, 21-year-old Kyle Vasquez is accused of being behind a string of bizarre incidents in Center Reach and Selden that he allegedly recorded.
I'm Tommy Tough Knuckles, and I'm the reason why these egg prices are so high!
Police at a Chinese restaurant where police say he spilled the beans. The restaurant releasing this surveillance video to show what they were subjected to, all for likes on social media.
This is his bread and butter content where he just goes to random restaurants and businesses and makes a mess for them to clean up as he leaves and celebrates. So pouring beans on himself, eggs, milk, that kind of thing. And that's it. That's his prank. We get a peek behind the curtain here and get to see his cameraman friend, and he's just as much of a fucking douchebag weirdo as his prankster buddy. He's wearing sunglasses at night inside while filming this. I've said this a lot, and I do mean this. I think the life of a prankster's cameraman is even more sad than the prankster itself, because at least in a case like this, Tommy Tinkle Titties, whatever, he gets some money from it. The cameraman gets nothing. No one knows his name. He doesn't see a dime from it in almost every single one of these cases. He is literally the cuck that has to film his friend getting paid for garbage. Actually, how do you look yourself in the mirror and not feel immense shame for what a failure you are to end up in a position that you're filming Tommy Tough Knuckles pouring beans on himself in a restaurant and get nothing for it? It's such a waste. Like, you really need to reanalyze how you got to this point and make some serious changes, because it is pathetic. Now, he does a ton of these. These are the two that the news organizations kept playing. But he's got others, like Atozi showed his 15K special where he does the same shit with milk and then throws milk on some random woman that was walking by. But this trash was just the tip of the iceberg for Tommy Buttfuckles. He ended up doing a couple of videos where he would go up to strangers and say, like, he has an emergency, he urgently needs to use the bathroom. Can they please let him use the bathroom? And people being nice actually did let him into their home to use the restroom after he told them all this, and he was secretly filming them to humiliate them for their act of kindness.
But the felony counts were far worse, authorities telling us Vasquez unlawfully recorded 2 private homeowners with an undercover camera in Selden and Center Reach to mock them for allowing him inside.
Of recording these videos unlawfully and sharing them on social media.
I just needed to use the bathroom. I got kicked out, yeah. I have like a bunch of felonies and stuff, so.
In this video, he jokes about having a criminal record. And while he profits from likes and views on his page...
You following me, bro?
Buddy ordered 5 cheeseburgers with a side of attention, and now he's really upset that that attention is being served to him. So the reporters being there is making him very mad. And in every clip that the reporters are there, he tries to, like, say, fuck you guys, and he, like, gives them the finger, and then the cop immediately brings him back down to earth by just towering over him and reminding him that he is just a tiny little worm. It is so cute, actually. Like, he wanted this attention so bad, and now he's crying about it. It's entirely his own fault for being a clout-obsessed goblin creature. Now he's made a bigger mess of his life than all of the eggs he poured on himself at restaurants and shit. He did it to himself. To secretly record people being nice after you've told them, like, you're going through something bad and really need to use the restroom is crazy. The prank was to humiliate people for being kind to you. Hey everyone, make fun of these fucking idiots for believing my story. I could have been a murderer. Everyone make fun of these guys. Ha ha ha. Dummies.
Tough Knuckles not so tough as he then bolted from us at the courthouse, free till his next court appearance, but shielded by friends who came here mostly to twerk.
Holy Toledo, did you see that sprinting speed from Tommy Buttfuckles? All the makings of a varsity athlete right there. What was that, a 10-second 40-yard dash? Heavens to Betsy. Right into the open arms of his supportive group of pals there. That look like you can smell them from across the room, these fucking dweebs. Busting out the gritty, ironically. Oh, God. Like, surrounding yourself with just yes-men enablers that are encouraging this behavior is just unhinged, man. I just don't understand why nobody in the meatball sub-brigade over here could have sat Kyle down and told him to stop, that it's a terrible idea and it's a really piece of shit thing to do. All of his content, by the way, is just harassing normal people and businesses and employees. Like, another prank that he loves to do is the friend stuck in the stall prank, where he would go up to workers at businesses and say that one of his friends is having an emergency in the bathroom and he's stuck. Can you go free him? So they would go in to try and free them. But it turns out no one was stuck in the bathroom. It was all there to make the employee look stupid. There was no one stuck in the bathroom. There was a friend in the other stall saying, "What are you doing? This is crazy. I'm going to sue you. Why are you coming in on the bathroom while I'm doing my business?" That kind of thing. Just all of his content is just harassing other people. And now the second that news is there saying, like, "Hey Tommy, you got the attention you want. How is it feeling?" He has the gall to start getting an attitude about it. He even launched a GoFundMe for his legal defense. Keep the laughs coming. Kyle, the only laugh you've ever delivered is getting arrested. The laughs are coming because you've been arrested. No one wants to see that stop, man. This is the only good thing that you have ever done, is get fucking arrested. Like, that is the only time you've made anybody laugh, Kyle. Now, since his arrest, get this. These kind of pranks have stopped. He's playing things really safe. He's, like, eating food now for videos. Like, imagine that. If you actually punish someone's bad behavior, it stops. Wow. I can't fucking believe it. Anyway, I really hope this trend continues of finally starting to step in and stop this kind of dog shit. Because when you do start to give consequences to someone that's just endlessly harassing people in public for content, it stops it. It puts the kibosh on it. So let's keep doing that. That's really about it. See ya. You know that classic trope you'll see occasionally in TV shows where they have the character go to a therapist, the therapist will hold up ink blots and say, how does this make you feel? Well, I'm going to do that with you right now. Let's do this exercise together. I'm going to show you a picture, and I don't even need to ask how it makes you feel. I know exactly how this picture makes you feel. Disgusted. That right there, friends, is a picture of Jack No Sack Doherty. He's like this embarrassing cringe SCP that elicits a fight or flight response from everyone that looks at him, but no one ever chooses flight, they always choose fight, because everybody hates this guy and wants to fight him. I've made fun of him plenty of times, everybody has. Mr. Rogers would bully Jack Doherty. He is just biologically engineered to be unlikable. From the decisions he makes, to the things that he does, to the way that he behaves, like everything about him is just yucky and makes people want to like lash out at him. Like it's actually impressive just how hard it is to find anything good about Jack Doherty. So I've covered him even recently where he crashed his McLaren and his friend was bleeding. He's like, oh man, like, can you start filming me? Oh, my McLaren. It's that guy. And I covered him previously when he would go around harassing people and then hiding behind his bodyguards when they tried to fight him for it. He is just a menace. And he's done plenty of other things too that I haven't bothered insulting him for, but I just can't resist the urge to insult him today as well, because now he's become so desperate after getting banned everywhere for all of the terrible shit that he does, that he's resorted to pump and dump crypto scamming the last remaining splinter of his audience. Any news on Jack Doherty? Yeah, he just did a rug pull today. Or last night. He got in on that pump.fun rug pull. He couldn't resist the forbidden fruit. It was, I think he deleted a lot of it. Well, let me pull it up. He's streaming on a super obscure site called Party 2. I just heard about Party. The reason I heard about it is because it apparently just launched recently and it's already filled with porn. I don't know if he streamed this. I don't think he streamed this on Party. I think this was on just straight up Twitter. Yeah.
Where's Party? It's already there. It's already on. And press. Alright, going about it by. Let's see. Anyone that gets it right, guys, I'm gonna be sending your soul to you guys. If you guys want some soul, I'm gonna be sending some soul to y'all.
It's crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23 minute stream, holy. And I thought I barely streamed. Oh my. But it's crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23-minute stream and just hit a place where he is scamming. Just a random spot. Yeah, here it is. He eventually buys McLaren. Because of his McLaren crash, he's leaning into it. So he keeps talking about buying the McLaren coin on Pump Fun. All that Solana. Oh boy. And eventually just in stream without saying anything. It doesn't even look like he made much money from the rug either. Like, if you just look at the graph, it doesn't seem like he even made off with it like any money. Was it that initial pump and dump? That's what I couldn't tell. I think so. Like, it must have been. I'm pretty sure his friends made it in the background, so he was stalling for time, which is what the Reddit speculates as well. But it just doesn't seem like he even made much from it. He's just that desperate. And also, very few people even bothered playing ball with it, but everyone who did deserved to get scammed. If you're putting money into a Jack Doherty fucking meme coin on pump.fun, you just shouldn't have access to your money. You need a guardian. You need someone that handles it for you and shuts down your bad ideas. If I needed money to pay bills, would it be okay to pump and dump, or is it illegal? That's the craziest. I don't know if you're memeing or not, but the craziest thing is the TikTok fucking broccoli hair 9-year-olds, like, all of them are getting fed pump and dumps. And a lot of them think that that's like a totally normal thing to do and not bad. It's not regulated, but it's not legal. It is still illegal. It's fraudulent. It's scamming. It is still illegal, but no one's going to get punished for it. But since it's not regulated, you're not going to see Jack Doherty get taken away in handcuffs. It's fucked because kids thinking it's a way of life. They should be worried about toys. Yeah, like the 13-year-old that rugged 3 times in a day for 50 grand. Oh, God. It's sad. It's actually sad. I'm sure he's going to do more of these, too. I just have a hunch he's going to keep doing this. Because it is like an infinite money glitch right now. It seems like everyone who makes a pump.fun coin is getting tons of suckers to immediately buy in, hoping that they're there early enough for when it graduates and they make like a fat bag off it. But it's just not going to happen. It is just not going to happen. You have better odds in the lottery. But I know there are a lot of people who have already made tons of money from it. Just like there's people that have made tons of money from the lottery. It's just not going to be you. Pump and dumping crypto is a moral good because it scams crypto bros. It's your civic duty and also funny. Wow. Checkmate, actually. I was going to try and like have an argument against you, but you're right. The only people on pump.fun are actually the people who deserve to get scammed. You're cooking. Wait a minute. You just fucking flambéed that. There's mathematically better odds at beating a pump and dump than winning lotto casinos. I think you do have like slightly higher odds, but you have to also calculate that everyone on pump.fun is scamming. Like they are rug pulls. So you are not in on when that's coming. So you still have to get absurdly lucky, which is why it's still like statistically very unlikely that anyone that's outside of the scammer's ring makes money off of the pump.fun rugs. Why can't they just keep the coin going and take a bit out here and there instead of rug pulling? I feel like it's long-term more profitable. Scamming seems so dumb. That was so innocent. That was like a kid asking, why do people do bad things? The reason you rug it is because there is no long-term with a pump.fun shitcoin. It is designed to be rugged. They don't have a use. It's there to pump and then take your money out so people are left holding the bag. You can't take little bits and pieces out because then you risk not being the benefactor. It is actually, from a design perspective, there to fail, and you calculate the fail. It's so degenerate. Is Jack gonna get jumped soon? I doubt it, man. Anyone that bought into the pump.fun probably had their parents' permission to do it. If they wanted to jump Jack, they'd have to talk to their dad to have him drive over there. Otherwise, they have to roll up on the green machine. They claim Pump prevents rugs by making sure all created tokens are safe. Each coin on Pump is a fair launch with no pre-sale and no long... Yeah, I saw. That's just to cover their own ass legally. Pump.fun is making so much money, they're going to be in the crosshairs of, like, regulators or investigators or something down the line. So they're just doing all they can to, like, legally cover themselves, but the site is literally made for rug pulls. That's the whole point. It's going to give birth to a whole new generation of highly skilled and experienced scammers. Nope. No, it is not. Like that 13-year-old with the huge rug pull the other day for Quant. He didn't do anything like technically impressive. On the site, on pump.fun, I don't want to pull up the site. The site is so fucking degenerate. But on the site, there's something that just says start coin. You click start coin and you can just make your shit token. He didn't do anything besides just click make coin using whatever fucking protocol is native there. I have no idea. Launched it and then just streamed, and then people started putting money into it, and he said, thanks for the 20 bandos, left, and then came back with, I'm sorry, thanks for the 10 bandos, left, then came back for Lucy, another 10 bandos, idiots, and then left. The experience he gained is that people are fucking idiots. That was the experience he gained from it. He's not highly skilled. Crazy to think Quant Kid probably made 50K from scamming and probably still believes in Santa. Yeah, he's gonna try and buy one of the reindeer from Santa's sleigh. Not satisfied with just one pump and dump on his audience, Jack Dorkey did it again. Like King Neptune, he said, that was so good I want to try it a second time. So he apparently did another stream on Twitter where he rugged another coin. I can't find that broadcast, so I only have this screenshot to go off of, but you can still see the tweets that he was posting about it before going live. So he clearly was doing a meme coin stream, then deleted some of the tweets, and in the comment section you can see people being very upset that he rugged them again. The shitcoin this time around for Jack was hated. The lore being people hate Jack for good reason. So he immediately rugged it as soon as he could, speedrunning financial crimes with a goofy smile on his face that not even his mother could love. And now, as an act of revenge, the people that got rugged are now driving the price of hated up really high. Same play that we saw from the playbook when that 13-year-old rugged people with Quant, and then after he was out, they drove the market cap through the goddamn roof. They fucking blasted that Insano style in order for the kid to feel bad because he made 30K when he could have made $1 million if he held. Though he would have never made $1 million because if he didn't rug them, it would have never had that market cap because people wouldn't have done that. It's a secondary scam. So what happened is people got rugged, then they start putting in more and more money to give the appearance like, hey, we need to get revenge, so we're going to drive this up. So then they drive it up in order to get some people to buy in, so that way the people that got rugged can get the fuck out without taking as much of a loss on it. So that's what they're trying again here with Jack Dorkey's meme coin. I can't believe people bought into his first shit coin with McLaren, let alone the second time. This is the exact same thing that just happened on the same site with the exact same formula here a couple days ago with Quant. And people are still falling victim to it. And Jack is going to keep doing this. Jack is probably going to do this every single day. And unfortunately, I think it's going to work every single time because for some reason, people keep thinking that they are the galaxy brain. They are the one who knocks. Yeah, it's a rug pull. We know Jack's going to rug it, but I'm going to be there when he does to capitalize off all the idiots, all the sheep that don't see between the lines like I do. Wake the fuck up, moron. Everybody knows that. Everyone's doing that same thing, which is why you keep getting rugged. That's the whole purpose of this. Like, it's going to keep happening. The only person that wins, well, two people, Jack and Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun's making 20 million plus a month off of this degeneracy. And Jack is able to just keep farming imbeciles, absolute buffoons. It actually blows my mind how willing people are to just get scammed, blatantly scammed, laughed at in their face, and keep coming back for more. It's nuts. So I expect Jack to be doing this every day until the fucking authorities show up and take him away in handcuffs, if that day ever comes. He is literally streaming himself committing financial crimes. But because it's in the crypto sector, it's not something they actively pursue all that hard. But maybe they will at some point, and he'll face the piper then. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So yeah. I've made a lot of Pokemon Scalper content recently because it is truly just a catastrophe. It is a wasteland. The state of that hobby is in shambles. It is one of the most despicable hobbies on the planet right now because of scalpers and just degenerate losers that have infested it. I know it's been said a million times before, but it's super true. Pokemon is not for children anymore. It is reserved exclusively for the greasiest, slimiest, most loveless losers in your local neighborhood, deluding themselves into thinking that flipping it on Facebook Marketplace for a $3 profit is a career. These pathetic vermin in this perpetual cycle of buying every new piece of Pokemon product gluttonously and just trying to flip it instantly, taking advantage of the hype train, hoping that some people will overpay for it. And in many cases, they are. And if you are a child looking to get your hands on any Pokemon cards, you better just start taking Taekwondo courses because you're basically signing up to go into battle, going to a war zone. You're going to be having to fight grown-ass men here to get your hands on Pokemon product. Anyway, why I'm yapping about this for the millionth time is because today, a scalper video actually went extremely viral, like actually turbo popped off, millions upon millions of views, and multiple angles because so many people were outraged, and I think it is the epitome for the state of Pokemon cards right now.
All right, so this is Zay, the manager. This is what they're selling to one person. This guy right here, one person.
Bro,
one person. Look at this. You're gonna be on all the websites.
Nigga, you're a
one person. One person.
It's cute how he immediately tries to cover his face in shame while in a panic, and then desperately tries to cling to something to defend himself, but all he can utter out is this trash by saying, "You're a grown-ass man." Meanwhile, he is also a grown-ass man. Unless, of course, he's like a baby that's been set to Wumbo or something. But I'm pretty sure that is also a grown-ass man that's dumping his entire paycheck on this Pokemon product, and the manager of the Walmart is there as like his fucking muscle, like his security guard, because it seems like the manager probably knew this was going to be a bad look, because they literally wheel out multiple shelves of Pokemon product for this guy to buy. And he hasn't bought it yet, mind you. They're in the process of scanning each individual item, and the manager is refusing to let any other customers grab some of the items from his haul here, which makes me think, and many of the people in the comments think, that they're in on it together, that this is a side hustle for the manager, and that these might be friends that the manager is giving this honor to, this incredible gift of being able to buy the entire inventory, so that way maybe later down the line the two of them can split profits when they inevitably flip it. Now that's just a little bit of a game theory, but it's the only logical explanation for why the manager himself would be here defending this customer's right to purchase every single piece of Pokemon product Walmart has, even going as far as to wheel the shelves over to the checkout register for him. That is unhinged. That is craziness to me. And it's not like a crackpot tinfoil condom conspiracy theory either, by the way. This is actually something that's been well reported in the hobby, where there are some people on the staff at Walmarts and other places that stock this product that do actually tell their friends when it's coming in, so that way they can go buy it and they work together to split profits from it. That has happened before. And I feel like it's a pretty strong argument here that that might be what we're seeing unfold right now. Because how else can you explain this shit? It only gets worse as the video goes on, mind you.
One person. They're selling this all to one person. This is the manager. This is the manager saying he didn't bring any of these up yet, but won't let me buy them.
They're all rung up already.
They're all rung up, but they're sitting there. I see her scanning them.
Sir, they're on the machine. Can he have his product back?
No.
Just a blatant, bold-faced lie saying that they're already rung up. You can hear them scanning it. They are actively scanning these products. They are not rung up, but the manager is reserving them for this goober here in the hoodie that is now trying to, cover his face like fucking Bane here, so that way you can't make out who he is. I gotta tell you, sports fans, I have a hunch that if I went to that Walmart and I grabbed an entire fucking shelf and brought it to a checkout register, I probably would be met with a little bit of friction there. I probably would have to answer to the higher-ups, and they wouldn't necessarily condone that. I don't think they'd let me just buy the entire fucking shelf that I brought to the register. But he gets to. Why is that? That's quite curious, isn't it? That's a little odd. I've never seen that before.
You already paid for it. You already paid for it.
He did? Did his card swipe yet? No.
Sir, you're not going to be able to credit stove, okay?
All right. You're the like head manager of this
Yes,
Walmart?
sir. There's no higher than
All right. Zay from this manager of Walmart on Arroyo is letting one guy buy all these because he knows them. Because he knows them. Because he knows them. Because he knows them. I can record.
You can.
Yes, I can, Zay.
Ooh, that one touched a nerve there all at once. There was like a fucking Winter Soldier response. They're like, oh, wait, no, we don't know him. No, we're all strangers here. We don't know that guy. No, this manager's just super fucking awesome. No, this guy just lets anyone just grab the display shelves and bring it to the checkout register to buy all of the product. And then also, that forbids everyone else from even accessing the product, even before it's paid for. Oh, and every single line out of the protagonist loser in the hoodie's mouth is just fucking cinema. Every single sentence that he squeaks out from his lips is more pathetic than the last. So when he's trying to say he has no idea who this manager is, he has the gall to say, I'm from LA, ask about me. What in tarnation are you yapping about? What? Ask who about you? Burger King? Like what? How does you being from LA mean that you have no idea who the manager is? How does that mean that you guys can't be friends just because you're from LA? What is that thought process, man?
Bought all of this, plus another pack over there. Oh wait, where's it coming?
Bro, this is the shit I'm talking about. Nah, don't cover your face, bro. You're gonna buy everything, dog?
Do whatever
You're a fucking dick. You're a fucking dick.
Do something about it.
Deadass? Yeah? We can step the fuck outside. Look at out here. No, cover your face too. Look at this. The kind of shitty people. Kind of shitty people do this shit.
Bro, I gave some to people.
Bro, fuck off. Shitty ass fucking people.
This is one of the other angles I was talking about. Here you can see really the whole scope of the operation. I counted 3 full displays that they wheeled over for this guy and the girl with him as well. 3 whole displays he was able to buy up while being reserved, apparently, since the manager wasn't letting anyone touch any of that product anymore. Also, he's starting to puff out his chest a little bit. He even insinuates that he's ready to throw down for Pokemon cards, ready to get into a bit of a scuffle, saying, do something about it. This stupid asshole forgot that he wasn't on Xbox Live right now, so now his mouth is writing checks his ass can't cash, so he's ready to, like, fight a stranger here over this Pokemon product that he is greedily buying up. He's ready to, you know, alright, do something about it. It's fisticuffs time. And then the guy filming's like, alright, we can go outside, and then he immediately kind of like shies away, like, come on, fucking hurry up. Finish ringing me up, please. What an unhinged asshole. Now he's just ready to start fighting over it. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure I heard this benevolent saint mention that he gave a couple of people some of the merchandise there. Don't know if that's true or not, considering in the other video we saw that the manager wasn't letting anyone touch any of that product anymore because it's only purchasable by this guy for some really weird reason. So I don't know, I'd have to call into question the authenticity of that claim that he lets some people have a little bit, especially when you look at the displays. They are fucking filled to the brim. The cup runneth over on greed here. I don't think he's being truthful when he says he let someone else have some. I don't see a dent in it. And regardless, even if he parted ways with 1 or 2, look at the quantity he's buying. Nobody else is going to have any Pokemon product for themselves or their kids or whatever. I can only, with my fingers crossed, hope that any day now, people will finally wake the fuck up and stop paying scalper prices for Pokemon product. If that happened, if people would just finally stop paying over MSRP for this, these scalpers would be left with their dick in their hand, and they'd be furious. That is how you win. You stop paying over MSRP to these losers. But I don't see that happening because the hype train's too high, and most of the time, let's be honest, it's scalpers selling to other scalpers. So even in this extremely egregious example of scalping, I imagine there were probably 10, 20 other scalpers that were looking to do something very similar, just maybe not to this extreme degree. And probably without the blessings of the manager here, because it seems like the manager was really on this guy's side. But mostly this hobby has become truly just plagued by greedy assholes that don't view it as a hobby, more so like an investment and a get-rich-quick scheme through flipping this shit. It sucks, man. It sucks. And this has got to be the best showcase of just how low it sank. Anyway, wanted to make fun of this clown and wanted to talk more about Pokemon scalping. That's really about it. See ya.